This episode of the What's Happening Delco podcast is brought to you by Delco Meets for Business. Check us out on Meetup at Delco Meets, the number 4 business, register, and attend one of our incredible networking meetings. We meet the 1st through the 4th Tuesday at the Whole Foods in Newtown Square. We meet the 1st through the 4th Thursday at the Brick House in Ridley Park. We look forward to seeing you there. What's happening, Delco? I'm Rich Shane, and welcome to the What's Happening Delco podcast. Today, I'm joined by Dane Shoemaker of Shoemaker Films. Dane, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Rich, how you doing today? Thanks for having me on.
It's a tremendous Monday, and I get to speak to you today. What is Shoemaker Films?
Yeah, so I'll tell you about Shoemaker Films. So we are a video marketing agency. What that means is we produce mainly video content for brands and businesses. So that ranges from your traditional sort of video content that might live on a website, like a brand story, a mission story, kind of commercial stuff. We also do a lot of podcasts. So we produce video podcasts, we do YouTube, and we make ads for brands as well. So really kind of that next gen kind of video content to help businesses grow, mainly online, but really wherever people consume video content. So
how did all this get started for you, Dane?
Yeah, so my path, like many people, is not very linear. So I started off my career in tech sales. I actually worked for IBM for 11 years. Before that, a couple startups, and I've always had photography and videography as kind of a side hustle, kind of hobby on the side. But it really accelerated during the pandemic back in 2020. We started working from home, had a little bit more time, to spend time with the family. I dusted off my camera and started making a lot of videos with my sons at the time. We'd go out in the woods and shoot some videos, just kind of have fun with it. And then, towards the end of 2020, 2021, started working with some nonprofits and local businesses in the area that kind of needed a way to share their story, kind of continue to promote their business while everyone was kind of on lockdown. So I had some contacts in the area. I had some friends that have businesses. So just kind of started working with them to make some social media content, just some simple stuff like that. And that kind of escalated very quickly over 2021, 2022. We started working with more businesses, started actually getting paid for it, right? And then towards the end of 2022, I actually founded Shoemaker Films officially. It's really my wife and I today. But then we have a team of 5 1099s, range from videographers to editors to a social media manager to a copywriter we just brought on. So we really have a full agency, if you will. We kind of sit in the middle between a traditional video production company and a digital marketing agency. And we kept the name Shoemaker Films just because I think it kind of resonates with what we do. We tell stories. We help businesses tell their stories. We bring their mission, their story online through social media, through YouTube, through podcasts. So that's kind of the story of how it got started. And actually, this was, again, a side hustle for a long time. And then I went full time with it at the beginning of this year. So now I'm a full time entrepreneur, kind of get my feet wet doing that. And it's been awesome. The feedback from clients and partners has been great. So.
Dane, what can people expect when they work with Shoemaker Films?
Yeah, so people can expect a world-class experience. So typically when we start working with a client, we like to work with people on a long-term basis. So, we do a lot of one-off projects where, hey, there's a campaign video or, a commercial that they need to put out or a brand story, something like that. But we really enjoy working with clients for the long term. So, we'll sit down with a business owner and kind of map out, hey, what's your mission? And we work with a lot of service-based professionals, a lot of consultants, coaches, things like that, B2B organizations. We don't, not so much restaurants, retail, stuff like that. And we really help business owners kind of get clarity around what their vision and their mission is and who their audience is, who they're trying to reach, right? These are business owners that, typically are pretty savvy today with social media. Maybe they already have a podcast where they're getting leads or they're active on the internet, but we kind of come in and help really streamlined things. We put some operationalize how they produce content. So, maybe it's once a month going into their business. We have 20 ideas for short form video, or maybe it's a podcast that we actually produce with them, whether it's them bringing in guests to interview, or it's them talking straight to camera, sharing their ideas about their industry, about their products and services, et cetera. And then we kind of operationalize that. So we record, we edit, we upload everything. So if it's a video podcast, we'll put that up on YouTube, and then we'll take the audio out to Spotify and Apple and about 10 other platforms as well. And then we'll take clips from the episodes as well, and chop them up, edit them, and then actually post them on social media for these clients. And so it's really important to replicate or capture the voice of the business, right? This is if you're an entrepreneur, you are passionate about your business, right? And you have a very specific way that you carry yourself and how you want your business communicated. So it's absolutely critical those first couple months that we're really dialing in that messaging, and we're capturing your voice properly. And there's so much stuff today online with AI and ChatGPT and all this crap out there, which AI is great, but it's really an art form to make sure that your voice is coming across, your brand is coming across correctly. And we take that very seriously. So it's, we think of ourselves as kind of a boutique operation where, if you're working with Shoemaker Films, it's going to be, really a world-class experience, one-on-one. We're not a big agency. We're not a big expensive company, right? That you're going to feel like a very small piece of that. We like to work with, typically right now, we have about 6 to 10 clients at any given time that we're working with one-on-one every single week.
So much is talked about branding, messaging, communicating your story, as you said. When you look at some of these companies, these business owners that come to you, what are some of the consistent mistakes, or what do you see right away that they should be doing better, and recognizing that Shoemaker Films is going to help them take that branding, that messaging, that communication to the next level?
Yeah. I mean, I think, today there's so much noise out there, right? Where people are like, okay, I understand that social media is important, right? Some people are intimidated by that. They don't know where to start. Or they're already pretty active on there, right? And they're posting regularly. Maybe they don't have a clear direction on that. So we can help kind of refine that, right? Just kind of sit down with clients to map out what that process looks like. Who is the audience that you're trying to reach, right? Whether is it 16 to 24, males, females? Is it 50 to 60-year-old? We kind of break down some of those demographics, but also psychographics, right? Like who is, what are they? What's their job? What's their occupation? What do they feel? What are their values, right? Like who are these people that you're trying to reach? And then we kind of back up from there. What's the content that we're producing, right? So if we're creating a bunch of short form videos, what are those messages that will resonate with that target audience, right? And I think, again, a lot of that might feel intimidating when people aren't, they're not used to posting online. They're not used to, putting themselves out there. Certainly it's not a natural thing to be on camera. But, we kind of help people through that process, right? Get people comfortable. We have a friendly group of people that you can work with. So I think we have a good approach when it comes to that.
People creating content, it's always that conversation of, I don't know what to say. I don't know how am I going to look? I don't like how I look on camera. I don't like how I sound. How do you work through helping people overcome those barriers?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a process, right? It's not, I'm usually behind the camera. So even myself being on this podcast today, it's not a natural thing for me. Most people don't like talking about themselves, right? Talking about their business, but it's just something that comes with anything in life. You have to put in some repetition, and you get better and better at every time. And so we kind of help coach people through that. It also helps to be prepared, right? So we kind of usually do for clients that we work with on a monthly basis, we do a monthly shoot, but we also do kind of a brainstorming call at the start of the month. So, hey, how did last month go? We'll look at the content. If we're managing their social media, we'll actually look at the analytics, and then we'll do a brainstorming session. Hey, what are similar businesses in your industry doing today? Here's some ideas for different pieces of content that we can work on together, and we go into every single shoot with a pretty clear plan. Most of the clients are really good about maybe reviewing that maybe a couple days in advance or practicing. Um, Getting the collaboration is really important too. So, a lot of the clients that we work with are very active and very involved in this process. They're coming up with ideas, they're coming up with things. So, that builds confidence as well. When you're prepared, you practice, you have some input on what you're talking about. It's not just you showing up with a camera and a teleprompter and you're just repeating things. It's really a collaborative approach there. So, and then we do some general coaching, where with lighting and hey, what to wear, and we've brought hair and makeup and something like that sometimes. So people really get into it. It's a fun process. So yeah, that's how people look at it.
As you approach this new business, becoming an entrepreneur, who inspires you, Dane? Who motivates you?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think there's a lot. I think we're, as humans, we're exposed to a lot of different inputs on a day-to-day basis. I mean, you know, I try and surround myself with a lot of founders and entrepreneurs and small business owners. I'm really motivated by people like, like yourself, like we first met at the Delco Meets for Business. I feel that was a great group, by the way. I appreciate that invite. And, you're just surrounded by business owners, and you're sharing challenges that people have those similar challenges. But I'm pretty active in other networking groups as well. I'm on the Newtown Square Business Association as well, on the board there. So I work with a lot of small business owners in Newtown Square. I'm also a member of Mainline Chamber, Philly Ad Club, Philly Business Connect. I try and go to at least 1 to 2 networking groups every month. That's been a great lead generation tool. It's also it's just great to be around other business owners, get inspired by that. I would say growing up, my grandfather was a big influence on me as well. So Frank Kaler, he was a World War II veteran, came home, lived the American dream, started a business. He ran a meat wholesaling company out of his garage. And, he was just an inspirational person. He died when I was only 7, but, just things that I've picked up over the years, I found, especially more recently, the last 5 years or so, I find a lot of inspiration from his stuff. So yeah, a lot of people inspire me, but yeah.
How do people connect with you? How do they find you so that they can work with Shoemaker Films?
Yeah, you can go to shoemakerfilms.com. That's SHOEMAKER films.com. I'm sure you'll throw the links in there. We're pretty active on Instagram too, so at Shoemaker Films. You can reach us via phone as well, 484-202-0420. And that's the best way to get in touch with us. Go to the website, drop a message on our contact form.
Would you like to give a shout out to some of those clients, people you're working with, to give them a better presence, better brand awareness on social media and for their website?
Yeah, absolutely. Primal Physical Therapy in Bryn Mawr is one of our marquee clients. Dr. JJ Thomas there, Dr. Eric Abramowitz, and who's also with Primal Physical Therapy. They just opened up an office in King of Prussia. Benari Jewelers in Newtown Square. I'm missing some clients, but yeah. But
you can't name all your children, but
no,
just kind of
no.
give a little shout out to some of those that come to your mind.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah.
You're out and about going to meet with a client and you have a cheesesteak craving. Where are you going for cheesesteaks in Delco?
Ooh, okay. In Delco. So I lived in South Philly for 3 years. I lived in Philly and for 10 years. I was in Fairmount, Manayunk. We kind of moved around with it, but lived in South Philly for a long time. I know these are tourist attractions. I love Pat Steaks for a cheesesteak if I'm in Philly. If I'm around here, I would have to say Delco Steaks is probably the best cheesesteak in the area, in my opinion, Delco Steaks. So, yeah.
You satisfied that cheesesteak craving. You're looking for a pizza. Where are you going for pizza?
We're into Rise Pizza right now in Brumont. That's good.
What do you like on your pizza?
They do a Thai chili chicken or something like that. But normally I'm just a pepperoni guy, but they have some pretty good flavors there at Rise.
You have a convenience store need. Where are you stopping? Wawa or Royal Farms?
Ooh, definitely Wawa.
How do you describe Delco to somebody that's never been here or has not heard of Delco before, Dane?
Delco is a different breed of people, but honestly, the people here are great. Everyone. There's that six separations. Was that six separations of Kevin Bacon or something? I think the separations of connections in Delco is like a 1 or 2, maybe. I think everyone kind of knows each other. Great place to live and work and raise a family. That's for sure. So, yeah, Delaware County, Pennsylvania is a place to be. That's for sure.
You have friends or family coming in from out of town and you want to give them or take them to have that Delco experience. Where are you sending them or where are you taking them?
I'd take them over to Ridley Creek State Park for a little walk in the woods, little hike. I don't know, Tekka for dinner. That's in Newtown Square, but yeah, I mean, Tekka is our go-to place for dinner and happy hour. So I would say
You're going hiking, you're going for some wine, you're going for some good food. It sounds like a great day out to experience Delco. Dane, is there anything we haven't spoken about on the podcast? Anything you want listeners to know more about you or more about Shoemaker Films?
no, I just appreciate the opportunity, Rich. If you're curious about what you're doing from a marketing perspective, if you feel like there's something that you can do more of, if you're interested in, increasing what you're doing on social media, if you're thinking about starting a podcast, or showing up more on video, we can certainly help that. So please reach out.
It's always important when we drive, we're looking at our speedometer, we're looking at the environment around us, and your business needs to be looked at as well. You need to take a look at what you're doing on your socials, what you're doing on your website, your branding. And this is a perfect opportunity to evaluate that and see where you could be doing better, see where you can be reaching more people and working with Dane and Shoemaker Films. This is a great opportunity to take advantage of that. It's spring, so get your business blooming. Dane, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us on the podcast today. Thanks for being a friend of What's Happening Delco. We look forward to seeing you out and about in Newtown Square, helping business owners in the Delaware Valley community, and just seeing you at the next Delco Meets for Business.
Sounds good. Thanks, Rich. Appreciate it.
Hey, it's Rich. Thank you so much for being a listener to the What's Happening Delco podcast. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to learn more about the people and businesses in our community. I have been a real estate agent for over 25 years, working with first-time home buyers to last-time home sellers. As a listener of the podcast, my gift to you is a complimentary 1-year American Home Shield home warranty. This is for buyers and sellers that I help. If you're looking to move anywhere in the United States, I have you covered with an amazing network of real estate agents. I look forward to hearing from you. My direct line is 215-313-3777, or you can email me at rshaneremax@comcast.net. Oh, by the way, I am never too busy for any of your referrals.